Thank you, Bob, for the opportunity to speak today. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning.
As Father said, my name is Bob Hall, and I'm a member of the team that represented our parish at the Diocesan Convocation held in Atlantic City from March 25th to March 28th. One of the most rewarding parts of the conference was to hear several people's testimony of their personal encounter with Christ. And that is why you've been hearing from our team members over the last several weeks, giving their testimony to you. So here goes mine, and thanks for listening. I've always been a religious person, but I never really knew what it meant to be spiritual. I had a strong faith, but I did not have a personal relationship with God. At the age of 32, I found myself at 300 pounds, depressed and lost. I was happily married and had 2 beautiful children, but I felt lower than dirt about myself. I had low self-esteem and really felt useless. When I shared my feelings with a friend, she planted a seed that I might want to look into a 12-step program. I said, "Who, me? I'm not a drug addict. I just need to lose weight." And I stayed in denial for 3 more years until I really hit rock bottom. When I went to my first meeting, I started slow, but I knew that I was in the right place because everyone that was sharing my life story. But I was reluctant to fully commit to the program. I still wanted a diet. I still wanted a quick fix. I just wanted to lose weight and really go back to the way that I was eating. Then a church friend asked me to attend the Malvern retreat with him, and I decided to go. Now, I'd been to spiritual events before, but this one seemed different. I usually bailed when the program talked about a sacrament of reconciliation, but for some reason I went this time. I think they sold me when they said you don't have to tell your life story, you can just do a quick confession. Now, I hadn't been to confession for over 15 years at that point. That was due to a priest yelling at me for not remembering the act of contrition. Seems pretty silly at this time, but that's exactly what happened, and it kept me away from going to confession all those years. Now, I still don't know the act of contrition, remember it, but I do go to confession regularly now. So what happened in that confession was truly a miracle. In those 5 minutes, I felt such a release and freedom that I had never known. It felt like the weight of the world came crashing down from my shoulders, and the wall that I had built up between me and God had come crumbling down. And God was on the other side of that wall, smiling at me and saying, "Where have you been, Bob?" So from then on, my personal relationship with Christ has grown and grown. That very night, I picked up the books of that 12-step program, and I went all in, believing that God was going to help me. In program, I learned that I was using food to sedate myself and escape from life's problems. I learned that I was addicted to certain types of food, just like an alcoholic has an allergy to alcohol. Compulsive overeating was a disease just like alcoholism, and I needed to treat it as serious as being an alcoholic. Diets never worked for me, and now I know why. Food was my God instead of God. Before program, when I had stress and fears, I used to stuff my emotional problems down with food, giving me a sense of ease and comfort. While that worked for a time, it ended up having a boomerang effect and tearing me to shreds from the inside. I've seen many friends die from this disease, and now I know how truly deadly it is. So program has saved my life. I worked the steps and grew closer to God as I learned the reasons why I ate in the first place. I learned that food was only a symptom for what was really going on inside. Through the steps, my life has changed so much, and I allow God to change me and mold me into the person that He wants me to be. Today I do God's will, whatever that may be for today. I don't hold on to resentments, and I accept myself as I am, and I do the same with others. My relationship with my family and friends have improved, and I've learned how to set boundaries as how not to be a people pleaser to my own detriment. I know that I am a child of God, and that I am useful, and that I have a purpose, to be of maximum service to myself, to God, and to others. I no longer let food thoughts dominate my life. I've changed the way that I eat now, but it is a very small sacrifice for the life that I have now. My new life has allowed me the self-confidence to try new things that I never thought possible, and here are a few. Singing in a choir, being a lector and speaking in front of large groups of people and not passing out, and my new passion, which is running. I used to hate running because I always ran to lose weight. Now I run with groups like Back on My Feet Philadelphia, who run with those in shelters who are homeless. I run with the group Ainsley's Angels, who push disabled children in races around the country. And I run for a beautiful girl, a 5-year-old girl named Annie, who is my matched running buddy and lives in Ohio. I dedicate my miles to her and fundraise for her disabilities, which are brittle bone disease and dwarfism. I now have run over 30 marathons and ultramarathons, including 4 50-milers. And in January, I'll embark on running a 100-miler in Florida. With God, all things are possible. You see, I don't take credit for anything I do in life, and it's all thanks to God. I talk to God now as I would a best friend, and I trust Him. I still need to work hard every day and do the footwork, but instead of trying to control things, I leave the results to God. Thank you, God, for the opportunity to live again and to be the person that you want me to be. And thank you for the opportunity to share my story.